Elon Musk stated Elon Musk is a very, very wealthy man. I'm gonna call him a trillionaire. Not a billionaire. I'm gonna go to word to call him a trillionaire. I'm gonna name three people. One, Elon Musk. The other, the former head of Amazon. And another one, the owner of Facebook. Now, I'm gonna really say they're not born on Earth. I know they may say it, their parents may look like they're here, their family. I'm going to go as far as to say they're not born on this planet. Now, somebody said, man, that sounds crazy. Not so far-fetched. Not so far-fetched. Elon Musk, in order to make us a spacefaring world, if you understood anything prior, I shared something with y'all. Go back and get the book. Many years ago, when I was a student at the Straight Path School. Now it is called the Administrative Building. But at the time, it was called the Straight Path School. A man came into our classroom wearing a dark coat and a hat. I couldn't tell you this man was black, white, or whatever. He reached in a box and pulled out some books. Now, all books being hardcover back then, he pulled out a paperback book. Inside the book is about a flying disc. Now, but only thing to make this different, now I've been holding the book. I'm going to be 56 years old now. And that's how this summer, I've been held this book for almost 50 years of my life. This book tells you how to build a flying craft. Now, what you say, man, what are you saying all this for? Look at our world. Any spacefaring civilization is not going to start talking to us until we understand space, till you understand certain things. Like, I will even go back to Mark Zuckerberg. I'm going to go right to him, the head of Facebook. If anybody tell me Mark Zuckerberg born on this planet, oh, okay, his mom and dad may be here. Mark Zuckerberg is, to me, that's how somebody understands the cosmos. Understand the heavenly bodies. Understand the workings of the cosmos, how it works. I ain't talking the asteroids, you probably know that, but how we interact with others on other worlds. Take Elon Musk. Elon Musk is now going to take people up into outer space. If you did not know it, he's building on the dark side of the moon, making a settlement. Building, actually making. Already up there working. Now we take Amazon. This guy. He's showing us that he's reaching for. These men, I would say, not born in. I would clearly say they're not born on this planet. Their knowledge of space. So how would we become a spacefaring? We would talk about it. We could not become a spacefaring nation if we was in 1940. But we have some ideas. But now we understand the cosmos very well. You know it. I know it. If somebody came to you and they tell you that there was not life in outer space, you'll say, you're crazy. We know there's life in outer space. But if you was in 1700s, you wouldn't believe so. You would think they're aliens and demons and all this stuff. That now, there is no, that's how all that stuff. I mean, you just filling your head with a bunch of crazy things. We must clear our minds of what we think. I know there's a man in Switzerland, right? His name, that's how they call him, that's Billy Myers. Billy Myers, many years ago, Billy's old now, met with the Palladians. Now, they came to Earth. They call them the Nordic people. They are Caucasian, blonde hair, but they told him that they met with leaders of our world. Now, at the time, Valiant Thor met and spoken to President Eisenhower, and at the time, Vice President Nixon. Some people may say it ain't true, but Valiant Thor, there's an actual picture of Valiant Thor. They took a picture of it. Valiant Thor looked like any other human being you might come across. One, they said we all sort of look alike. There may be a little similarities, but a little difference. Maybe a little difference. And Valiant Thor said that's how he's a benevolent being. He said he's benevolent. That means he's a little longer than us. He's benevolent. The Palladians said they only live to be 1,000 years old. They told us that. They only live to be 1,000. They could live like us. They said we live to be 100 years and even a little bit older on our planet, but we loop. Now, I said to everybody, we are in the, now let me go back to the year 2021. You have the devices before you. You have your cell phone, an iPhone, an Android phone. I want you to look up Valiant Thor. I spelled it out to you. VALIANTTHOR. Cut past the foolish shit that's there. We are becoming a space-faring world. That is a fact. Recently, I shared with y'all Israel, the country of Israel. Their prime minister, that's Netanyahu, their space thing like we have NASA here. They clearly told us that Israel is in discussion with another world. And they are talking. They said there's some people from Earth. Yes, they on Mars in a cave. Yes, they're talking. Now I could tell you for a fact that I know other beings are on this planet. Look like us, sound like us, walk around like us, but what they have is a greater knowledge. We should not be afraid of what we see. Now, like others, there's always a heavenly book for everybody. Some people may not think so. Yes, they is. What the Palladians explained to us about God. Now, let me be very clear to you. God, the almighty being. They stated that it is called the creative being. Creative. After so many lives that we live, and we gain in wisdom and all that, we all become part of this creative being. We all become part of it. Now, this creative being makes the planets, the stars, all the stuff you see. Everything you see. With inside of Earth. Now, I'm going to go back to talk about Benjamin Netanyahu right now and Israel. They stated there is a race that lives within the planet. They are benevolent too. Their major job, what is their job? They do not let us destroy Earth. No, they'll stop us. Because they live within the planet. They are Earth. They're earthlings. They formed here like we formed. But they're benevolent. They have a closer relationship. Closer to the created being. Now they live within the planet. But I'm going to tell you, lots of times we have come across other aliens not even know it. Don't even know it. Because you wouldn't tell the difference. They're not made up of many tentacles and all like that. I mean, that's craziness. Some things, everything had a potential for that's how evolving. Everything. Everything can evolve into a higher being. But I'm bringing this to you in the year 2021. Now, I want you to understand. I'm going to go back to this book. And when I showed the book, it showed you of a flying disc. Flying disc. But it showed you how to make it fly. How to go. We have been in contact with other races from other worlds. And some are good, some are bad. But it is up to us on Earth. Like Elon Musk said, he's going to build 1,000. And he's already in the construction. We already know he built SpaceX. And he's going to fly back off. They already dropped off somebody at the space station. They're going to build more. Now, your knowledge, I'm going to say it like this. Some people are just born stupid. They can't get past it. They don't believe in anything. They ain't meant to. Some people are just ignorant. I'll be honest. It's good to believe in God. And you believe in a heavenly being. There ain't no trouble to believe in a heavenly being. But nobody makes nothing happen. You know, the Bible said God don't make you do anything. You're not forced into anything. And I do believe that Mark Zuckerberg, right along with Elon Musk, and right along with the former head of Amazon, come from another world. But we already right now, Elon Musk showed us when people said, oh, we can't reach this. Elon Musk landed on the dark side of the moon and proved that we could build. I said, what are you waiting for? When back in 1957, a ship landed. It looked like the ship that's in my book that I have. Looked just like the ship landing. A being came out named Valiant Thor. He wasn't alone. There was a lady with him and another gentleman. Looked very much like a human being. He landed and they was taken to the White House. That's how we weren't going to be able to hurt them because they're more powerful than we are. They spoke with President Eisenhower at the time. Eisenhower stated that we were still a fledgling world. But they opened up dialogue. They do not live on top of their planet. He stated to us they live inside of Venus. They live in their world. Now, some people keep on hearing, oh, everything got to be like it. No, it does not. Some races do not breathe air. Some breathe methane. Now, by me breathing air, some breathe carbon monoxide. And they breathe out air like a plant. Like we know, plants take in carbon monoxide and breathe out air. Recently, but we already knew it ain't recent. That's how they stated there is life in the clouds of Venus. But that's easy trying to give you an understanding. You can look that up yourself too. There's life in the clouds of Venus. That's alive, living. Now, but I tell you like this, there's life all around us. Nothing interferes with us on Earth. No. As we push forward into the year 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, I think it's going to be turbulent years now. Because we're going to be leaving sort of like out of the dark ages. I'm going to explain it this way. We will no longer be on the horse and buggy. Imagine when they built the first car. But when they spoke about the car, people thought the car was mysterious. Same with a man when they made a stove. Same with a man that flew through the air in a jet plane. People thought, oh my God, what is that? Now, some of y'all be claiming you seeing flying crafts. You really are. You are seeing flying crafts. Some is made by this world, and some are not from this world. They're just out testing out new crafts. I told y'all before, if you go outside at a certain time of night, I wanted about, soon as it hit midnight, that's why I want to get real dark outside. You will see that's how the United States, that's how flying disc. It will hover. It will stop. It look like a star. You know, like a star you see? It will pause and it'll zip across the sky. We are doing that on Earth. That's us doing it. That's us right here on this planet. But if you want to see other discs from other worlds, they freely move through. Freely. Only thing that they're doing is showing us that we are becoming a space-faring world. Not all planets have life. I'm going to be very clear to you. Some don't. Some don't. Some are still in the development of life. Some are still in development where I call it, they're still not even the dinosaur era. They're just still in an infancy of microbes. But in the Milky Way galaxy, where we are, there are over 10 billion, and still growing, other life forms that house planets here. 10 billion. Billion with a B. Billion. And that's still growing, that far as we know. And I know for a fact. You don't have to tell me how much I know. I know. And what I know, I have been in contact, I have spoken to, that I do know. I know for a fact what we share here. I know what I've seen. I know the book that I have. I know. So it is not surprising to me. Elon Musk said he's going to take up a nurse, regular people. But I'm going to be for sure that some of y'all, if you want to go and see the dark side of the moon when he finished, you could go and see, because he said he's going to have us up and moving. Elon Musk, I know for a fact you're not from Earth. I know that's how the head of Facebook is not from here. I know for a fact the head of Amazon not from here. You may be saying you're born on this planet. I do agree to that. You may say your family live here. I do agree to that. But I know what you're doing. And I know how you're doing it. It takes somebody that has special knowledge of space flight. Earth is understanding space flight. They're understanding about the cosmos itself. They're understanding the cosmos now. They're coming to understand the cosmos. They got to get out of that foolish state in their head that they are the only race out there. They're really just dumb. I call it ain't nothing but just dumb. Their holy book tell them they're the races. I mean, I don't know how they could be that stupid, but they are. Now, as you move further and further into the heavens, and you will move further and further into the heavens. By the year 2022, it's going to amaze you. But it's going to scare you too. Yeah, it's going to amaze you plus scare you. You're going to be amazed plus scared at the same time. You're going to be amazed. Now, just like I'm going back to saying, like when they invented the automobile. Imagine looking at the automobile and you were riding on a horse and buggy. When we heard of a cell phone, imagine the first phone being invented. But look at us now. As somebody from the 1700s came here today and looked at us, they would swear that Earth been invaded by alien beings, but it has not. Your technology has improved. Your understanding of the cosmos have improved. You understand that that's how. I'm going to explain to you something about earth, and I'm going to explain to you making it biblical. The Bible tells you you're creatures of thought. You are. So as a man thinketh, right? So as you think, he could do it. You're creatures of thought. You know how to think your world into existence. You know how to think this world into existence. You do. The Bible tell you about thought. And it tell you about speaking. It says speak it into existence. It lays it out in the Bible for you. But you speak it and think it. Yeah. You speak it and think it. If you think it to be true, you can make it happen. Now, really, I'm just educating you, but a lot of stuff you heard. You're no longer in 1970. You're not in the 1980s. You're not in the 1990s. Elon Musk came out of nowhere, didn't he? Whoop, there he is. Jeff Bezos came out of nowhere. Whoop, there he is. Mark Zuckerberg came out of nowhere, right? Whoop, there he is. Just appeared to you, right? Now, I'm going to say it like this again. Elon Musk, I will truly say out of you, Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg are not from our world. You may be born here because we breathe the same air. But your knowledge is vast. I listened to Jeff Zuckerberg when he first spoke to Congress. He was talking so far into the future that they couldn't even know. He was talking thousands and thousands and thousands of years. How did he know that? He would tell them something he know, not something he guessed. When we see Elon Musk, he was already talking the dark side of the moon, and now he's there. He's talking something he knew. We looking at how Jeff Bezos, how Amazon is built. Now he is entering. And he said, we will be up and running. They already built SpaceX and launched off. Now, I recommend for regular people like us, please do not be so ignorant. We come a long way. We will finish up with all these other things on earth. The little things that we're doing and the thing, because we will become more. We're at the stage right now, our generation, we are, our generation. We're no longer we're going to be like those who've seen the automobile. Those who live long enough are going to see that's how them take off, not only land on Mars, they're going to enter into Venus, right into it. They're going to fly right into the center of Earth. Yes, they will. Those who live long enough is going to see it. I'm telling you what I know as a fact. I'm going to go back to the year in which I'm in, that which you know that where you are. The year right now is 2021. Look around you at everything you see, everything. Look around and look at it. We just sent up SpaceX. SpaceX went up. He proven that we can land on the dark side of the moon. And like he said, I know that's how I will bet dollars to donuts that it's how that Elon Musk is talking to another world. And I know Israel is already, Israel to help you out to talking to the Palladian system. That's the world they talking to. We know the Palladian system. I'm going to tell you how to know where the Palladian system is. Let me help you out. I want you to take a look at the Big Dipper. All right? I want you to look at the Big Dipper. I want you to look at the handle of the Big Dipper. The first star that makes up of the Big Dipper, the handle, right? That is the Palladian system. Now, when you say Nordic people, they come from there, all right, in the Palladian system. But to help you out a little bit more, I'm going to make it a little biblical. Go to your own Bible, and it will tell you a little bit about the Palladian system. It was talkable. Now, as far now, they've been talking to us. Israel is talking to the Palladian system. They having a conversation with the Palladians. They're talking about your interstellar travel. We still, that's how reaching it. We know we are not, we need propulsion to zip across the sky. Now, we can move within our own Earth. We can move here. But when we try to go out of Earth, that's a problem because we're traveling at the speed of light. Now, the Palladians told us that when they travel, they use their mind with their beam ships. They call them beam ships. How many ships that where people may see? All ships come in all different colors, all different sizes, all different shapes. But they told us that when they fly their ships, they use their mind. And their mind, they do not enter right into our world because they can split our planet apart. Their ships are pretty huge. They slow down and they come in. Now we know Valiant Thor is not from the Palladian system. Valiant Thor is on the planet Venus. He told Eisenhower, we call him the morning star. Early in the morning, Venus shines the brightest in our sky. They shine the brightest. I want you to understand clearly what I'm saying. Those who don't believe me, I really don't care. There's a man that didn't believe the car was going to get invented. There's a man that didn't believe the television wasn't going to get invented. The man that didn't believe in computers. The man that didn't believe in this, and all this stuff is in your world. Now you can't be that foolish. Those who follow me, I've done this one time before. I stopped talking about other things and I brought you back to my number one goal. It's called my number one goal. You will become a spacefaring world. That's a fact. Now, those who are alive today, and depending on how long you're going to live, you will see us take off and land, not only on Mars, we will enter into Venus, we will enter the core of the earth, and you will touch down on other worlds. That is a fact. That is a fact. Not made up. That's a fact. Now, and I will go to it no more different than you dealing with the cell phone. You're dealing with computers. You're dealing with greater technology. You're becoming more and more smarter. You're becoming more and more intelligent. You're becoming more and more aware of what's around you. And I tell you, if you listen to me, get a pen and a piece of paper and hold it. It will help you out a lot more. I want you to chart down some of the things you see and some of the things I'm saying. And I want you to look them up yourself. You're able to. It ain't like you got to go to the library. It ain't like you got to go and search out a lot of books. This is right here at your fingertips. You could search out Valiant Thor. You could pull up the Palladian system, the Palladians. You could, that's how, learn a lot right now, because as Earth, you hear me? I didn't say America. As Earth, the blue ball. You're not called, when they look at you, they call you earthlings or people of the blue planet. They don't break you down America and all this. No. You just people of the blue planet. People of the blue planet. Because our planet is blue. It's an ocean world. We more watery world to them. So as they look at us, and as we understand ourselves, but as we push further and further, we are reaching out farther into the cosmos. We are reaching further out. As our technology get greater, and I'm going to go on to another thing that you might not know how it happened. And you might say, oh, well, I want you to think of your vaccine, right? Now, it may took several years for you to create a vaccine. It only took you several months. Why? I want you to stop for a minute, and I want you to think about the vaccine. Something that would take several years only took several months. Why? Your technology is now better. Your understanding of a lot of things is a lot better. Your understanding of it. Now, I want you to look these things up. You had the ability. You had the ability. You do have it. You have the ability to look these things up. You had the ability to look it up. You had the ability to search it out. You had the ability to find out. You do. If I went to my computer, there's something, let me see. Cortana, where is the Palladian system? It takes to show me. Let me see. Cortana, can you speak?
You bet. Talk to me and I'll talk back. Just make sure you have the volume up.
Now you hear Cortana talking, right? Let me do this. Cortana, who is Valiant Thor?
According to nextagamission.com, Valiant Thor is an immortal who resides inside the planet Venus.
See?
He is the commander of Victor 1, a spaceship presently stationed on the ground near Lake Mead, Nevada, and he heads the Council of 12 in Venus.
Now you just heard that. Now that is true. They know exactly where he is. Now that is done by Google. That's done by NASA. They know exactly what Valiant Thor is. Valiant Thor is an immortal who resides inside the planet Venus. He is a commander of the Victory 1, a spaceship presently stationed on the grounds near Lake Mead. That's true where his ship is. You ain't going to see it. And that is true. Now, you could pull it up yourself. I pulled this up with Cortana. Cortana, no, if you don't believe me, you could go to Google Earth and ask Google Earth to pinpoint his ship. And you'll see where his ship is. Ask Google Earth right now to pinpoint, right? You hear what I'm saying? Ask Google Earth to pinpoint Valiant Thor's ship. It will pinpoint his flying craft where it sits. You got Google Earth, don't you? You know Google Earth. You ever Google something? And you ever Google when you're driving? Let me ask again. Cortana, who is Valiant Thor?
According to nextagamission.com, Valiant Thor is an immortal who resides inside the planet Venus. He is the commander of Victor 1, a spaceship presently stationed on the ground near Lake Mead, Nevada, and he heads the Council of 12 in Venus.
Valiant Thor is a real person like we real. Just told you where he resides, inside their planet. If you want to Google where his ship is, right at this very, very moment that I'm speaking to you tonight, you want to Google where his ship is? Ask Google. and it will pinpoint his craft for you. Don't ask me how hell I know everything. I do know. And I know exactly where he is on this planet. As I told you before, I said nothing escapes me where I'm at. That you can pull up the history of him and everything about Valiant Thor and print it up for your own records and learn a little bit about. That's how everything about Valiant Thor. Valiant Thor came to Earth. Let me bring all this back up. Valiant Thor came to our world to participate and teach us about the heavens. Valiant Thor is an immortal being. All right? That means he could live longer than we're living. He's an immortal being. We're not immortal beings here. We're not. We're not immortal beings. We are not. I gotta pull something back up. I made a little boo-boo. But we're not immortal beings here. We're not immortal beings on Earth. Clearly we're not. We're not immortal. We know we pass away. We're not immortal on our planet. And we're clearly not immortal beings here. If we would live longer lives. We would not die. Now the Palladians are not immortal beings. They're not immortal. They'll let you know that they're not immortal. They pass away. They pass away. But let me see if I can bring this up. There we go. The Palladians are not immortal beings. Those who follow me, and still, I've been talking to y'all about Valiant Thor. I want you to I went to Gartana, and I asked Gartana, who is Valiant Thor? Now, Gartana explained who is Valiant Thor. He lives and resides inside the planet Venus. And that's where he resides. Now, I'm going to say it again. The Palladians are not immortal beings. They die. They live to be 1,000 years old, right? They go to school for 100 years, 150 to about 200 years of their educational system. Now, here on this planet, we could live to be 100 years old, 110, 111, 108, 109, but we could live to be 100 years of age. When we die, we loop. It's called looping. But we don't know we come back. We don't know that. We don't know our past life. The Palladians know their past life. Now, inside of Earth, there is a race inside the planet. They're immortal too. They're immortal beings. All right? Now, they live forever. That means that's how they just keep living. But not all of them live like that. There's a group of them that live like that. I want you to be very clear about what I'm saying to you. I want you to understand, I'm going to go back, like I said, you're in the year 2021. I told y'all when you leave out of the year 2019, everything was going to change. Remember I told you that? Here came into your world the coronavirus. The coronavirus, that's how came into your world, brought all of y'all at home, didn't it? All of y'all had to go to your computers. You remember I went on to computer and I said, everybody going to join me here? A lot of people said, oh, man, we're not going to join you there. I'm not a part of Facebook. Stop worrying about that. Y'all going to see flying crafts. That's going to happen sooner than what you think. Y'all are going to participate and watch as great things happen. Those who are alive and living will see it like the automobile being built. Within your lifetime, you would have existed with other beings from other worlds. Right now, they are doing a lot here. Elon Musk, I know you're not from Earth. I know you already building on the dark side of the moon. We've seen you build SpaceX at a record time where it takes generations to build a rocket ship. You built that very quickly and showed them it can be done. And one that is so high tech went shoo, flew so fast and come in. You was already there. They didn't believe how fast it flew. It went whoop. You was already at the space station. When we take the former head of Amazon, Mark Zuckerberg, this man, young man, Mark Zuckerberg, I would say Mark Zuckerberg is not from Earth. I mean, I'm looking at him. Mark Zuckerberg, mind, technology is beyond our world. But he's here too, bringing us further and further and further into the future. We're already about there, almost about there. I recommend that all of y'all, all of you, those who don't know, those who want to doubt me, they can doubt. I don't give a shit down. Right? You ended up here in Facebook with me. You ended up in social media, didn't you? Here you ended up when you said you wouldn't be here. You ended up right where I told you you'll be. When I said there'll be trouble at your Capitol. Oh, there ain't going to be no trouble at the Capitol. I said I already know that trouble is coming. What happened? How you knew it? Stop worrying about how I know. Stop worrying. I said it to you years and years in advance. You already had knowledge of what was coming. You already had the knowledge. You already had it. Now, I'm telling you like this. Those who have a pen and piece of paper, mark down 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026, 2027. Go all the way through till you reach 2050. From this moment on, where I sit today, at this hour, you're going to hear more great things than you ever imagined. It's going to feel, you're going to be past what Star Trek is. All right? You're going to hear more greater things. You hear the news people say, there's life in the clouds of Venus. They're going to come back and tell you there's life. And then they're going to say, they're here, they're this, they're that. I mean, it's going to be moving so fast, you won't have time to catch your breath. How do I know? I know. How do I know? Stop worrying, how do I know? Stop worrying about how I know. Somebody asking me, how do I know? I know. Okay? Stop asking me how I know. Let me just do Cortana again. Who is Valiant Thor? Let me see. Cortana, tell me who is Valiant Thor. Maybe, or having to talk to him, have a talk again. Cortana, tell me who is Valiant Thor.
According to nextagemission.com, Valiant Thor is an immortal who resides inside the planet Venus. He is the commander of Victor 1, a spaceship presently stationed on the ground near Lake Mead, Nevada, and he heads the Council of 12 in Venus.
Now, what did I tell you? There is a Council of 12. They oversee us. They oversee what we're doing. They oversee Earth. They do not interfere with wars and all this stuff you're thinking about. Oh, famine. And no, they do not. No, they do not. Because we still must evolve past those things. You will evolve eventually past. Well, you're not here. Your great grandchild will evolve past it. And evolve past a lot of things. But we already, some things we don't do no more. We learned that chemical weapons are killing badly, mainly. But we understand about a lot of crops and other things about not damaging our world. We learn in the hard way. Right? Now, I recommend that you do pull up a lot of things that you need to know. I'm going to still recommend that you do it. And I'm going to state to you again before I go off. Now, you have heard from me. Now, remember, when I told y'all were going to end up in social media, y'all didn't believe me. Where you at? I told you that the things were going to change in your world. You didn't believe it. What happened? They changed. I told you that's how you have first-hand knowledge of what is taking place. Now, I'm not alone on earth telling you. There's a bunch of people telling you like this, but when you hear from me, you could see it. You seen SpaceX. I didn't tell you this how I told you they're going to make a rocket. It's going to move so fast you won't believe it. Zoom! It zoomed right to the space station. As soon as they said it was blasting off, it was there. Whoop, whoop, it was already there. That's that fast. You ain't never seen that move that fast. Now I say they're going to take people up. And I wasn't talking astronauts. Regular people. Like us. Regular folk. As we push forward into the cosmos. I recommend you educate your children properly. Properly. Do not talk of foolish things that think they don't exist. Something. There is a lot out there. There's over 1 billion. And that number's greater than that. You hear what I'm saying? There's over 1 billion, and even greater than that, are life forms, human-like, that look like we do. 2 eyes, 2 ears, a mouth, look like we do. Some beings are a different color. Some are gold. Some are silver. Some are bronzed. But we all look very much human-like. Very much so. Very much so. Very much so. Now, those who didn't understand what I was saying, I tell you right down the years. You're in the year 2021. Right down the year 2022. 2023. 2024. 2025. 2026. From this moment that I said, mark my words, you're going to see something different. News reporters going to tell you something different. They're going to tell you something different. And now you got all this technology. You don't even need the news. You can pull it up yourself and hear it. I want you to understand what is happening. This world is zipping into the future. You will become a spacefaring world before you know it. It will like to blink your eyes. There it is. Oop, there it is. And a lot more things. Some won't live to see. I mean, just naturally. We don't live as long as other things. We don't live. Valiant Thor is benevolent. We're not benevolent. But not everything on Venus is benevolent. Okay? Inside our world resides people that are benevolent. Not all of them are benevolent. Some of them are, but not all. We're definitely not benevolent beings up on top of the earth. We know we're not benevolent. We don't live forever up on top of earth. We know that. We know we don't live forever like that. I am sharing as much as I can with y'all. And for those who listen and those who follow, the earth is going to change anyway. There ain't nothing you could do about it. There ain't nothing you could jump on the phone. No. This is always been spoke of. As you move further and further, become a space-faring world. No world is talking to them in their infancy. No. When the world is still in, I call it dinosaurs age, they don't talk to them. And the age of where they still microbes. What the hell, you can't say that, they ain't nothing to talk to. Until you get past certain things and understand certain things. Technology is a key. Prayer, believing in a higher being. And that's how every world has something of a holy text. Something of a holy text. Every world has something of a higher being. And to other worlds, we are higher beings than them. You hear what I'm saying? A lot of other people, a lot of other worlds know of Earth. And we are a higher being than they are. Some are behind us. Some are still beating on the stone. Some are in the caveman stage. But you are coming out of that stage. You are very much coming out of that stage. You understand a lot more than you ever understood. So I recommend that you write down the years that I said and watch. And as I told you then, you'll be amazed with each step. Each step. Each step is going to amaze you. Each step is going to surprise you. Each step is going to really, really just amaze you. Okay? And all of y'all take care as we becoming more and more a space-faring world. Take care. In the name Valiant Thor, I will spell the name out to you, and then I want you to look it up. VALIANT THOR. Now you say, Mayor,